Welcome back, everyone. Betska, the Guru Coach with Raj Vashisht, and our guest today is Terrian on Mindful Leadership Beyond Borders. And we've just been having a fabulous conversation about extreme gratitude. And as you heard, Terry is a senior practice management consultant with a Canadian wealth management firm. So I am just really curious, Terry, if you could share with us, because you said you have a spiritual life, you meditate and so on. So how do you reconcile your spiritual life with the world of finance? Because there's a lot of confusion in the world. If you're a spiritual practitioner, you can't have money. That's what a lot of people think, right?
Yeah.
So tell us
Yeah.
how this works for you. I'm so curious.
And it's somehow more noble maybe to be with less in some people's eyes. I don't know where, but the thing is, money is really just an exchange. It's the way I see money in general is just it's just an exchange of energy, right? We're all out here contributing in whatever way we can, and for our time and effort, we are we are given what we call money, which we can then use to exchange for other things that we can then buy to enrich our own lives or to take care of the people around us, right? So money in itself is not a bad thing. The world revolves around money. We need money, or else we're going to be going back to the days when people just bartered. I have one thing, you have one thing, and we just change it, right? That wouldn't work in the world we live in today. We need something that we call a medium of exchange, money. So it starts with that. And money in itself, and I really like this definition of someone that I heard years ago, and it's really just an expression of gratitude. Comes back to that, doesn't it? Right?
Yes.
An expression of
Wow.
gratitude. You do something for me. Someone comes here and, for example, I've delegated someone to take care of trimming the hedges on my around my house. They come here, they do the work, and I'm thankful. I thank you for that work that you've done for me that I could have done, but I have other things to do. So I'm going to give you the money, and now you can do with that money whatever you want. So I'm basically, number one, expressing gratitude, but also giving them an opportunity to go out and do something else, right? The money shouldn't stick. It has to flow, right? So
Yes.
with that flow of energy, you keep going. And if everybody stays in that state where I'm not worried about whether I'm going to have enough or not enough, stay in that state of there's always enough, right? That doesn't mean we should be extreme and buy things for the sake of buying them. That's not good. That materialistic people always being like trying to get the latest and best thing. That's not what this is about. But at the core is what do I need help with? Right? What are the things I enjoy doing? So if there's something that you want to do right now, or you want to spend time with family, if, for example, asking someone else who has an expertise in something and getting them to do that work for you, whether it's like, for example, I used to do my taxes myself, and I just did not like doing that.
No, me
And
neither.
and so years ago, I asked someone to start doing it for me. And yes, I have to pay that person to do it, but now it frees up that time. The I didn't enjoy doing it anyway. If I enjoyed doing it, because there are people who do, they love doing that, then continue doing it. But I chose to give an opportunity to someone else to do it. They enjoy doing it. They do it really fast because they do this all the time. And so essentially, that's what it is. If you look at money that way, and now, of course, in the world, in the industry that I'm in, it's wealth management, right? I'm working with these advisors who are working with many of these clients are well off. And they're well off because they're rendering service in a way that's adding value to the world, and they're accumulating some wealth, and they
Yeah.
need help on managing this because it's not something that everyone is necessarily good at. It's how do you manage the money? And what I find about the people that I work with, these financial advisors, at the core, they're really nice people. They're out there helping people, right? With not just the money that they have, but these people have their own goals in life. They have family around them that they want to help and support. And so when you look at it that way, right, where you're just there to help people in the realization of their goals, and that those goals can mostly only be realized with money, through money as a vehicle to help. You still need to be there. There needs to be relationships. And so if you look at the money through this lens, there's nothing absolutely wrong with it. And there is a beauty in it, right? In that you're just
Mm,
exchanging energy and you're showing gratitude for the services and or the products that you're receiving.
mm. So it's service then. It's really, for example, we invest in green investments, like solar and wind and so
Mm-hmm.
on. And so by investing in them, we are serving that industry to grow. We're
Yeah,
helping
you
that
look at it that way.
industry.
Exactly. So if
Yeah.
if we have if we have excess money that we have all of our needs fulfilled right now, and now
Mhm.
I have some money that I want to put aside, and I could do like you just said, I can help a cause, help an industry, a sector, solar, whatever that may be. We can do that through money. Without money,
Mhm.
that would not happen,
Mhm.
right? So it's
I'm
not the
just
intention is not enough, but there needs to be financial support and
yeah,
having the awareness of where we put our money. And as of course,
right.
as an investor, we can choose where and how we invest our money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I made the like 20 years ago, I was asking our financial guy to put my money into green investments, and at the time there was hardly anything around, and he kept
Mhm.
fighting me. And then eventually we found someone, a vegan fellow, who was doing a wonderful job at that. I was just a really cute, funny story you can't see, but down on the floor here we have a guest puppy. His name is Son, Son, and we're going to have to go to the bank to get more money to feed this guy to service him. He's like 5 pounds. He's very small, but
Mhm.
he's a broccoli hound. I tell you, he's a vegan dog who eats every single vegetable you can and fruit you can imagine.
Same
Anyway, we're
with our
having a lot.
dog. We we have a vegan dog. You can't see him either. He's there. He's a 15-year-old vegan Shih Tzu. 15 years.
Oh, well, maybe I met
Yeah.
your Shih Tzu at one time. I'm trying to remember. Might
Well,
have
I don't know
been.
if you were around in 20. I don't know. I don't remember
Mm,
when you were here. Do you remember what
I
year you
don't
were
know.
here?
No,
Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway,
but he's been with us since 2010, and
okay.
he was a year and a half when we adopted him, and he's been vegan since he's been with us. And like you said, he'll take anything. He just he's just a happy guy. As long as you give him something, he's happy. They'll love him.
Yesterday, I gave Son some squash, some cooked squash. I don't think he's ever had it before. My God,
Mm.
he was like in heaven. He couldn't believe this cooked squash. It was just so cute. Anyway, getting back to,
Yeah.
but it's all part of this thing, right? Enjoying life and making sure that even our animals are happy and healthy,
Hmm.
and using our money in a good way, in a productive
Yeah.
way.
Right.
So, what do you enjoy the most about what you do, Terry? What do you like about it?
It's the interaction with people. I really do feel that when I have a session with one of our advisors, talking to them about how they can use the tools that they're using, and then they learn these new things, like, oh my God, you just saved me. So my goodness, I didn't know this. I wish I had known this before. That feeling they get when they learn something that makes this big difference in their day to day.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
just lights you up, right? Because
Hmm.
now from that conversation, everything that they do from that day on forward is going to be different thanks to
Hmm.
your intervention, your
Yeah,
suggestions, your tips.
yeah. That's
And it's
awesome.
it's also the people that I work with. Like I said, these advisors, whether they be the advisors that I'm working with, or my colleagues who are with me supporting advisors, everyone that I work with, they're just great people. And
Hmm.
I find myself to be very fortunate in that sense. And I have a great boss. My boss, he's just like, my goodness. And that's another thing, throughout my life, and again, it comes back to gratitude. So I'm going to say it, extreme gratitude. But I've always had great bosses, right? Just people that I can get along with, that just make it a joy to come to work. And it seems like it's always getting better. And I don't mean to say anything
Mm,
bad about the ones before them, right? Because they've been great. But my boss right now, I'm not going to name him, but he knows who he is if he ever listens to this. Just an amazing person all around. And of course that leadership, those qualities that it takes to be a good leader, it runs up the company, all the way to the
mm,
top. Our
yeah.
firm, just great leadership with strong, good values that just
Mm,
make it a joy to
mm,
come to work and to give more of yourself because your work is being appreciated. You're being supported when you need it.
mm,
And that's another thing, right? To know that you're being taken care of and that you
yeah.
matter when that comes from
Yeah.
your boss and the boss is
Mm,
a boss above,
mm.
all the way down like that. You say, my goodness, what a joy, what a pleasure to be working for such an organization.
Wow. Do you want to give these people a plug? Who are they?
Well, Gianni Crivello, that's my boss right now.
Hmm.
He joined IA after me, and at the time I had a boss and who that's Lindsay Tom. And when she announced that she was going to leave, I'm like, oh my goodness, who's going to come? Like, I was worried because Lindsay was amazing and she's the one who
Yeah.
hired me. And I was so sad when she told us that she was going to leave. We all were because she's just a great leader.
Mm,
And then Gianni comes in, and
mm,
Gianni turns out to be amazing. And so,
that's
yeah.
good. Um, a final question for you here. I totally agree with being in extreme gratitude because gratitude brings gratitude, right? Brings
Mm.
positive things into our lives. So, how can we use extreme gratitude to overcome the evil on the planet that we see every day?
You just have to keep using it, right? I think it's a
Ah,
matter of getting it. Of most the more we as the world population remember to be grateful for the things that we should be grateful for,
mm,
right?
mm-hmm,
Because when you practice gratitude, you are already in the light. You are no longer thinking negatively because you're focusing on what's good.
mm-hmm,
And because when we're not grateful and we're being pulled by something negative that's happening in our lives, and we are then being sucked into that negativity,
mm-hmm,
so we're not grateful, right? Obviously, we're not grateful.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm.
coming back to gratitude creates positive energy,
Right.
and that because in the end, it's energy, right?
That's right. It
So the
is. Yep.
more we are grateful, the more we are in a positive state of
Mm-hmm.
mind,
Yes.
and the more we bring positivity here, all of us being one candle of
Mm-hmm.
positivity, right? We
Mm-hmm.
keep lighting these candles of positive energy through for what we are grateful for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what we could do. That's how gratitude comes in.
Maybe that's why I lit my candles today on the table. I haven't had them lit in a long time.
Okay.
So that's
And
what
yeah,
it's
look at
all
that.
about.
There you go. You see?
So I just have one last question. So how can you support the people that listen to this podcast that come from all around the world or different walks of life? How can you serve them, you yourself, and your company? How could you serve them?
Well, my company is a whole other thing, right? I
Okay.
can't, I'm an employee of a big machine, right? And so I won't say that I can in my role serve them because I have
Hmm.
my dedicated clients or my clients are my advisors. And so
Right.
all I can suggest to people is that whatever it is that you're doing in the world, right? Look at it as how can I be of service to others? How can
Mm.
I help
Yeah.
them? Right.
Mm.
And whether again, even if you're in a job that you don't like right now, try to see what's good about it. At
Mm.
the very least, this work that you're doing is bringing you the money that you need to help you to get through your day and through your life. But don't stop there. I do believe in one thing is that the power of intention is real. The power of your
Yeah.
mind. And if you write things down, if you want something, if you want an outcome, and this actually happened to me. There was before I had this job and a few jobs ago, I was doing this job which I really didn't like. I was on the phones doing like basic customer service, but I was doing it and I was grateful that I had a job. But then one day I said, time is time, it's enough. So I was sitting on the subway and I took out my phone on my notepad and I wrote exactly what I wanted in terms of my job because I didn't want to do this anymore. And I typed it in, every detail. How far was it? What kind of people are around me? And it's making use of my talents and my gifts, everything. Wrote it down very clearly, and I'd refine it as I went. But then every day I'd sit in the subway, I'd be reading this thing, reading it, and like, what is this job that's supposed to be only 20 minutes from where I live? Because I didn't want to commute anymore, right? And I kept reading it. And then one day this something came on the radar, and it was this job that was 20 minutes away from my house. And
Wow.
so I say, okay, it's time for me to prepare and update my CV. And I get on it. And as I'm preparing to send it, it's not the same address. I look up the address. It's even closer. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
They moved. They moved. So I send the CV in and I have an interview and I don't hear back.
hmm.
What? It went so well. Why not? So I call. And has the position been filled? No, it's not. Okay, so what's the hang up? There's still nothing. And anyway, I had to push, 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 push. And to the point where I was taking the bus to go downtown where I was working, and I was passing the street that would be my future employment. I can see the bus. I was taking the bus, going to the sub metro stop that was there. And I was looking at the street and saying, I'm going to be turning on this street. I'm going to be driving to work and I'm going to turn on the street. I'm going to go to work and it's going to take me 7 minutes to get to work. And I kept visualizing it until it
Aha.
happened.
Awesome. Perfect.
So
That's just
that
great.
power of your mind, writing things down the way you want it, and
Yeah.
then visualize it and don't give up on it.
Right.
It will
That's
come.
the key. Don't give up on it. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Mr. Terry, go ahead. Sorry.
I wanted to, you hit on it. My framework. It's a personal framework for success because I want to touch
Hmm.
on it just a bit.
Yep.
LIKE. It's all about leadership, leading with integrity, kindness, and empathy.
Aha.
That's like.
Right.
Now,
Okay.
like leading takes people. You also have to lead yourself. Motivate yourself and think. But then it's about people, and people we abbreviate as human resources, but I want you to remember HR. But in this context, people takes humility and respect, HR,
Hmm.
and ACDC.
Ah.
When you think ACDC, you're thinking two things: the rock band, or you're
Yeah.
thinking, electricity, current, energy. Okay. So either way, it's energy because
Better.
ACDC was one crazy rock and roll
Ah.
band. There was a lot
Right.
of energy. So ACDC is to take action with courage, determination, and consistency. And in what I was doing
Ah.
there, I took the action, I put it on paper, I sent my CV. I had to call back. I want this job until she finally relented. And I stayed at that job for 5.5 years. We had a great relationship. It was an amazing job.
Wow.
I'm thankful for them.
Okay.
And so that's the power of intention and this framework.
Thank you, Terry, for sharing your framework of success. I love that, and maybe we'll have you back another time to really get into the the framework in more detail because it sounds fabulous. So, but thank you for being
Thank
here
you.
with us today.
Good. My
I could
pleasure.
tell by
Thank you.
Raj's face that he was really enjoying our time here together too. So, big hugs to your puppy dog and big hugs to your lovely wife, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.